name is Maria Beretta. I'm a makeup artist and licensed esthetician for both men and women. I am also the archangel to your eyebrows. This is my home salon, styled by Royalty Hair Gallery, which is owned by Mike Williams. Today we're actually going to be working on a eyebrow tutorial so you can fill out your brows appropriately at home yourself. So you have different choices when it comes down to your eyebrow, basically whatever you want to fill it in with. It's fine if you want more of a softer look, then you want to choose a powder, but if you want more of a defined look, then you want to do a pencil. I prefer honestly a pencil because I like them very defined, and you can always just blend it out with a comb, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Our model Tia has very nice brows. We actually just waxed them before the tutorial. So just with anything else, you would just comb them to make sure that all the hairs are in place. And you can use a mascara one. Some pencils have this type of brush behind them, and some have this. So it's really just your preference. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and I like to start from the bottom because that helps me really find the shape. The whole goal to the brow is to have it very defined and but still soft. You don't want boxy brows. So I do the tail first, then I come up, same pencil, the same motion, just going backwards. And I do some in the front as well. But you always want the front to be very, very natural. And you want most of your color towards the back and your front be very, like, faded out. So with this color that's applied here, you can see where it's kind of like a line of demarcation. What you want to do is that you want to comb that to the front so that you're moving the color that you just applied. And you can also do this to the rest of the brow so that it can just blend in. And that's a filled brow. Now, you can also make it pop with a little bit of concealer underneath. This is where a lot of people go wrong with the concealer. With the concealer, you can do a pencil or a powder, a liquid or a cream. It's totally up to you. I usually use something that's maybe one shade lighter than my client just because we don't want the 3D murder-scene brows. It's not cute. So what I'm going to use on her is the Wonder Pencil. It's the NYX. And I'm just going to underline softly the bottom of her brow. I'm going to go in with a brush, and this is a synthetic brush. I just like to use a synthetic brush because it helps me blend it out a little bit more because I don't want lines of demarcation, but you can also use a blending brush for this. And you just want to grab that concealer and bring it down. You can grab your finger and just kind of just blend it out. And that gives you a nice little highlight under the brow, but not too dramatic. And you can kind of tell the difference between this side and that side. So I'm going to show you another way to fill in your brow, and that's with a angled brush and the powder. So we're going to do that to her other brow. And again, it's all about preference as far as the color brown. Or really it's all about mostly your hair color. You want to take that into consideration, both your eyebrow color and your hair. You know, that type of color you want to take into consideration. I'm going to use a dark brown on her. Whatever color you use on your brows, you always want to make sure that it's matte because you don't want any shimmer on your brows. So I'm going to use a matte dark brown, and this is actually from my eye contour kit from Benefit. And it's this little guy right there. And again, with this, I'm also starting from the bottom, and my angled brush is pointed towards the front of the brow. And I'm just depositing the color into the brow where the sparse areas are. With the powder, because it makes it look a lot more natural, you can actually start from the front. I don't care to do that, only because you're gonna deposit more color wherever you put the brush first. So I wanted most of the color towards the end of the brow. Then there's like a little spot right here that she can use a little bit more definition. So I'm just gonna grab more powder. And then just define it a little bit more in that area. And you can also go in with that and kind of brush it out, just to blend it and kind of put all of the hairs in place. And I'm also going to do a concealer under this brow as well. With this brow, I'm going to do the cream concealer. This is actually a Graftobian HD concealer palette. And for her, I'm going to go with like a, kind of like a, not too dark, but not too light color. And these are neutral colors. I'm going to deposit the concealer onto my brush first. This look is going to be a little bit more dramatic underneath the brow. And again, you're just going to trace the brow. This is also a good way of kind of cleaning up if you made any mistakes. Like if you know, made your brow too big, or you know, kind of messed up a little bit, this will help you kind of go back and clean up. And I like to go in with my fingers, like I said, to warm it up, the color, so that it can really go into the skin. And I don't like to use the concealer on top of the brow. I would just, you know, apply regular foundation to the top, just like I said, because I don't like the big 3D halo brows. So I like to always keep the concealer underneath the brow. I also noticed that this brow, if you can tell, this one kind of starts a little bit more towards the front, and this one is a little bit towards the back. You can always just put a little bit of powder in that area. And then just blend it out so it's not boxy in the front, but still keep them even. So this is your powdered brow, and this is your pencil brow. Hope you enjoyed the quick brow tutorial, and that you're confident enough to, you know, do this on your own at home. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email at maria@mariaberetta.com, or you can follow me on Instagram and ask me questions through there. It's at mariab_MUA, and that's it. Come see me if you're in New Orleans.